and welcome back to my Warframe adventure. In today's episode, we take a trip to the moon and come face to face with not only the Lotus, but also Ballas. We then take a trip to the Necralisk where we discover some absolutely incredible lore. Now, on with the show. Why hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and friends from beyond the binary, and welcome back to my Warframe adventure. It is lovely to see you all today, and I hope that you are doing well. Now, I came over to my private quarters intending to begin the video here, go over some notes, talk quests and questions, and, discuss the events of yesterday. And when I walked in here, this was in here. And it says touch. I've no idea what this is, not a clue. So I figured we would touch it together, which, phrasing, I suppose. Anyway, let's go. Oh, what? What the hell is going on? Why am I on lure? Okay. This is not at all planned, if you couldn't tell. I've got no idea what is happening. Oh, look, there's another one of the balls. Okay. I'm wondering if this is...
something. Get me out of here.
What? Margulis? What the hell is happening? I had plans on how I... Whoa. Whoa, look at that. Holy shit. Oh my god, I've got whiplash. I've got notes. Oh, for some reason they're not opening. Let me try this way. As you can see, I've got some notes, and we were going to go over these. I've got no idea what this is. We're trying to free Margulis in some fashion?
You know I can't.
You know I can't.
Or won't.
Ballas. This is incredible. Oh my god, sorry. I don't mean to keep banging on, but this is just... I just wanted to begin the episode over in the private quarters. This is meant to be a nice, easy recording, and we've been thrown off the deep end. Oh, up there, okay. Before I go grab that, what is this, though? This feels... important, like this is where one would come to pray, maybe? That was strange. God, I mean, you gotta give it to the Orokin. Scumbags till the end. But my god, what gorgeous architecture. Huh? And I mean, I suppose we should also give thanks to Digital Extremes for producing such beautiful, beautiful models. Okay. Let's go grab this next. I'm guessing this is like a wisp.
I told you not to speak out. If you recant, maybe...
You lied to me, Ballas. You're no different than the rest of them.
Now, when we finished the second dream, there was one bit of dialogue that I'd forgotten to make note of. Ballas bloody hell. Ballas calls Margulis my wilted love. So, I think I said in the aftermath they had a relationship, but it wasn't necessarily romantic. Now that I've been made aware because I watched my own video back, there certainly was a little something more there than just being friends or work colleagues, right? So for him to have joined in, raising his hand, presumably, we're guessing he's a member of the Seven, to have her executed means all the more now than it otherwise would have.
Please forgive me.
There's more? Oh no. Strange that that's still there. I thought that disappeared. I'm guessing we are collecting these motes of ire, is all I can guess. That these are fragments of memories which have... Oh, is it leading... Oh, we're going down. Oh, okay. Fragment... What the hell is happening?
Honored Seven, we have gathered here today to carry out the sentencing of our comedian Margulis. You face the Jade Light. Recant, and we will grant a merciful death.
You face the Jade Light.
My daughters, my sons, I want you to know my last thoughts are of you.
Oh my god, I've got goosebumps all over. What is happening? What is going on? Oh my god. Am I inadvertently beginning a new main quest? I wasn't supposed to. The Jade Light. Is that what we see in that tile set? That...
How long have we waited for this moment?
Forgive me.
Oh my god! What?
For what? I am not who you think I am.
Oh my
But
god!
of course you are. Imprisoned, just as she was.
Ballas.
I will not abandon you again, Margulis.
This is... No! What is happening? Oh my god. I had plans going into this recording because I did not sleep very well, if you couldn't tell by the bags under my eyes. So I thought, nice chill episode. We'll, you know, again, to get the notes back up, we're gonna talk about the events of yesterday. We're gonna talk about the Wall of Lohk. Like, I am not 100% right now. I don't feel like I am capable of putting on a good show to warrant what is happening. So, this is just crazy. Ballas! Oh my god. I am so taken aback. Can we grab her? This has got to be a nightmare or something. It has to be, right? This cannot be actually happening. Wake up. Wake up, Tenno. Come on. Apostasy Prologue. Quest complete. Inspect your personal... I swear to you, I had no idea this was a thing. No idea. I just thought I'm gonna go chill over in the private quarters. Oh my god. That is incredible. I don't know. I'm torn. Was that a dream?
Operator, what is happening?
No, it's not.
The Lotus, is she gone?
Oh my god.
Ordis will attempt to synthesize her mission directives until we can figure out where she is.
What the hell? I don't... Let's go to the notes. Come with me. Come with me. Right. Where do I begin? Apostasy Prologue. Let's hide the questions and stuff for now. Let's just go over to Apostasy Prologue. I'm going to get my pictures up, which, again, hopefully, I'm sure you did. You heard me take quite a few during that whole event just now. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Let's scroll down here. Let's scroll down here. Do something. Get me out of here. Do something. Get me out of here. To which Ballas then responded, "You know I can't. You know I can't. I told you not to speak out. If you recant, maybe." To which she then says, "You lied to me. Ballas, you're no different than the rest of them." And the rest of them. Oh my god. Oh, this is incredible. Margulis, please forgive me. Margulis, please forgive me. Honored 7. Okay, this is the execution. The execution of Margulis. I don't mean to sound so excited. Bit of cognitive dissonance there. Honored 7. We have gathered here today to carry out the sentencing of Archimedean Margulis. You face the Jade, it's capitalized, light. Recant, and we will grant a merciful death. Okay. My daughter's my son, so this is a plea to the Tenno. My daughter's my sons. I want you to know my last thoughts are of you. And then Ballas appears to say, "But of course you are imprisoned, just as she was." I didn't get the most flattering picture of the guy. He was blinking. But, you know, I from what I know of the guy, I don't think he deserves a flattering picture. Take a look at this. This is the the picture I got of the man, the myth. There he is. Of course you are, imprisoned, just as she was. And then the Lotus, Margulis, removes the helmet before they walk into a light together. I don't know where to begin. That, like, again, I cannot properly explain just how out of nowhere that was for me. I had no idea anything of that caliber was going to happen. Not at all. I just thought, let's go start the stream, or the video, over in the private quarters, have a chat with the community, shout at them, you know, let them know my thoughts on Chains of Harrow. Wow. I've got so many questions, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. So, oh god, okay. Right, let's quickly open up a note here. If we go to Chains of Harrow, because I made a note during the Chains of Harrow quest about the nature... Here it is. Does this help us better understand the true nature of the Lotus? Has she, once as Natar, created an amalgamation of what Margulis looked like from the dreams of the Tenno? But in this moment, the Lotus appears to very much become Margulis in taking Ballas's hand and walking into the light with him. But of course, again, if we go back to, it is clear from their dialogue here and beforehand, wherein Ballas referred to Margulis as his wilted love, that they were romantically linked. Now, if the Lotus were actually Margulis, I could see a reality where Ballas's arrival would prompt a memory to flare in one's mind and remind them of the love they once shared, and take his hand and walk into the dawn together. the light, right? But in this instance, we know the Lotus isn't Margulis. Or is she? That's where I'm at now. What if there is actually a little bit of Margulis that lives on in the Lotus? And Ballas was able to, like, grab a hold of that echo of his love. You are imprisoned just as she was. Oh my god, my brain is scrambled egg. What is going on? They're romantically linked. Is it possible that a piece of Margulis exists in the Lotus somehow, by way of okay, so it's been predicated now that there is a way for non-Tenno to commit transference. In Sylvana's case, her frequent dabbling in transference led to her consciousness becoming one with the earth itself, in and around the area of the Silver Grove. We can see that, to another degree, what happened with Rel was it fragmented his consciousness to a degree, and then we had to piece it all back together. So, I wonder, did Margulis leave a piece of herself somewhere via transference, which now lives on in the Lotus? Because I cannot wrap my head around why the Lotus, if she is just a mimicry, an amalgamation of memories of Margulis, why she would willingly take Ballas's hand and walk into the light with him. The only way I can rationalize her doing that is if there were a genuine connection between them. Okay, well, leave that for now. Leave that bit for now. The Lotus. Is she truly imprisoned as we saw her? Because during the second dream, obviously she walks us back into our pod aboard the ship. Presumably in that moment it was her. But now I'm wondering, was that like a projection of her? And she has never left that prison? I don't know what power she could possibly wield. Not a clue. But if she is, as Palladino referred to her as, the great sentient queen, I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility that the Lotus would have a power so monumental that we cannot even comprehend. and that maybe that was actually just a reproduction of herself. I'll make a note of that. When we saw her at the end of the second dream, was that really her, or was it a clone slash mimic slash I don't know, duplicate? These are all the same word. Clone, mimic, duplicate of herself sent to the ship via her tremendous power. And if she really is imprisoned in that pod, who put her there? Did she put herself there? That's my next question. If she was, in fact, imprisoned, then who put her there? I mean, if that was the location where they executed her, then maybe that is, as we saw, an area rife with Margulis's memories. Like, if as we were running through that tile set, if that was, in fact, little motes, wisps, echoes of her memories, and Ballas's memories, then maybe that area where she is imprisoned is kind of like this convergence of, like ley lines, right? Like that point is where the connection to who Margulis was the strongest. Or maybe when she was executed, that's when she transferred a piece of herself. If I'm following this transference theory. But the final note that I want to make, and probably the most exciting of all, Ballas is alive? I'm like 50%. Like, it would certainly seem like he is. But at the same time, could that just be our mind playing tricks on us? If he is alive, what's he been doing? Where has he been? Ballas is... Oh, wait, let me make a note of him. Ballas is seemingly... alive? Is he actually alive, or was this a case of us being an unreliable narrator within a dream slash nightmare? Ordis, hold on. Ordis does say the Lotus is... I don't know what word he used exactly, but missing slash gone, which would lead me to believe what we saw was happening in real time. If he is indeed alive, and what we saw was actually him, what the hell has he been up to since the days of the old war? I've not had a clue about him. Hold on, that picture I got of him, I want to know if we can have a closer look at his outfit. I don't think there's like a pattern on his chest, and I think it's just a lot of geometric shapes. There's nothing we can really derive from it. But he looks like he's fresh from the Parthenon. He looks like he would fit in quite nicely among, like, I don't know, the upper echelons of ancient Greek society. I'll make a note of that. His outfit reminds me of something scholar slash elite member of the ancient Greek civilization might wear. And maybe from that we can derive a little bit more about what made the Orcan Empire tick. Anyway. I think I'm done with this note for now. One last thing. The Jade. The Jade Light. Is that the green beam we saw? What tile set was it? Was it Neptune? I think I can see it in a few different tile sets. We saw in that tile set. This might explain where the Jade... Are they called Jade Light Eximus? Eximus. Hold on, let's quickly wander over to the codex. And if I just type in Eximus. Eximus. Tusk Predator. It's not going to tell me their individual names, but I want to say it's a Jade Light Eximus. Okay, so for some reason my stream deck thing isn't working. There we go. So let's go back to what he said. You faced a Jade Light. Recant and we will grant a merciful death. What the hell is the Jade Light? Is it a man-made power? A natural phenomenon? Very curious indeed. Okay, well, I promise you, I did not mean to make this a note-heavy episode, but I'll leave that be for now. In fact, hold on, before we leave that be, let me just go over to my quests, so I can just see... Would it have been under here? Apostasy Prologue. Inspect your personal quarters upon finishing the Chains of Harrow quest. And that's unlocked the sacrifice. What a gorgeous bit of artwork. Wow, wow, wow. There it is, the sacrifice. I'm not going to click that yet. I'm not going to click that yet. We will do it. We will do it. We don't have many main quests left. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's quite a few. That's quite a few. I don't want the journey to end. Like, I cannot tell you how much I love this game. Not just for the story, but again, I am currently MR14. I am that close to MR15. I love this game. I cannot overstate that. It is absolutely incredible. We've got some side quests. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing today, and it's none of this at the minute. Jordis Precept, the Wave Rider, we've got some more missions in here. What I wanted to do, and this is nearly half an hour later than intended, if we go back to the notes, I did have a couple of questions I wanted to talk about at the beginning of today. Which, oh god, where would I have put them? Oh no. Quests and questions. Here we go. Here we go. So, now that Rel is gone, will the man in the wall also be unchained? Is my number one question. Because it would seem to me that in a sense, Rel and Harrow being chained as they were was sort of acting as a plug in the bottom of the bathtub to prevent anything from crawling up the pipes. And now that we've taken the proverbial plug out of the hole, I feel like the man in the wall is maybe going to be up to some stuff, which is slightly nerve-wracking. Number 2, is there any relation between the man in the wall, Albrecht Entrati, and the rest of the Entrati family? Now, I went back and watched my videos, and I got these notes. So, this is what we hear from Mother. All of this is from Mother. This particular part is when she was talking about a nightmare she had. On our first meeting with her, I believe Otak and Lloyd bring us to her, and her immediate comment is, I've just had a horrible dream or a horrible nightmare. And then she says this: the wall of Lohk was before us. I had my proofs, my father's, ... I could hear him. I could hear him tapping at the untimed door. Now, when I first heard this, my assumption, because why would I ever believe that there is a sentient being tapping from the other side of the door. My assumption was that she was referring to her father. Maybe. Because again, dreams manifest in strange ways. But now I believe that this might be referring, like him might be referring to the man in the wall. And maybe, well, almost definitely, I would imagine, Albrecht Entrati must have known of this man in the wall. Because for Mother to have the proofs that are her father's, surely somewhere in there would have made note of this tapping, this being from beyond the untimed door. And then later she says, we went in, but again, he wasn't there. My husband congratulated me, sarcastic halfwit. All the while, hive weed was sprouting all around us. But it was just a dream. So I'm torn here about whether or not she's referring to the man in the wall, or maybe her father. I'll have to go back and, reread and listen to some more dialogue. I don't know where/what became of Albrecht Entrati. Whether in his experimentation with the void, he went in and never came back, and that is what this is referring to. He wasn't there. Which makes me think that this could be Albrecht. Or maybe Albrecht is the man in the wall. I don't know. It's one huge question mark at the minute in my mind. And then later, she says, and this is when we are dealing with the heart stopping, seal the chamber, initiating restart sequence. By Lohk, we pass through and beyond. What is Lohk? Is Lohk the name of the man in the wall? The wall of Lohk. I don't know. But presumably we will have our answers soon enough. The other question I have is, WTF is a Kuva Lich? So, I was playing some Warframe last night, as I tend to do, and I was doing, I'll show you exactly what I was trying to do. So if I come over here and I go to swap and I type in Harrow, and I go to Harrow, it says, let me turn down the volume, are obtained from spy and survival missions on the Kuva Fortress, defection missions, and corrupted void fissure enemies. And I thought, all right, well, I'll go and, unlock some more nodes over on the Kuva Fortress. So I went on over, and I'll try and show you what I got up to. So if I zoom out, we'll come to you in a second. If we go over to, there it is, the Kuva Fortress, you'll see I did Koro and Nablik, or Nabuk, sorry, not Nablik. And I unlocked Pargo, which is a spy mission, and Rotuma, a mobile defense mission. So this is where I'll hopefully be able to get one of the Harrow blueprints. But while I was doing Nabuk, I killed a Kuva Grenier, and when I killed them, it said, I think it was spawn, Kuva Lich. And I thought, oh, it's gonna summon an enemy, I'll kill them, maybe there'll be a unique mod. Anyway, I killed them, and I was like, oh, okay. Nothing happened, and I was a bit confused. Anyway, I leave the mission, and then this.
I can wait forever, adversary, but I won't.
WTF, BBQ, what is this? Weapon Kuva Brahma. Weapon bonus, 25% electricity, birthplace Koro, progenitor, Vault Prime. What? What is going on? I've got no idea what I meant to do with this, but there's a Kuva Lich who is indifferent, which is a strange term to use considering how much indifference came up in the last episode. But yeah, all of their abilities seem to be somewhat related to electricity, and I wonder if that's due to me being the one to spawn them? And it says known requiems, modify Parazon. I've not clicked tutorial. I thought we would do that together so you can watch me hopefully learn. Oh, it's okay. An immortal foe. You can only defeat this adversary with the power of mysterious Requiem mods. Requiem mods can be acquired from Requiem relics found in Kuva siphons, thralls and hounds, and Kuva floods. Murmurs. Collect murmurs by defeating Rufen's thralls, Grineer or hounds corpus, to learn the known Requiems. The secret. Equip the known Requiems on your Parazon and battle Rufen to determine the correct sequence. Taxes. In regions containing your adversary's influence, Rufen may steal your rewards. Defeat Rufen to recover your losses. Vengeance. Lure Rufen out of hiding by defeating thralls or hounds in controlled areas. And Railjack. Pursue Rufen in Railjack once they flee to the Proxima regions. I do already have, if I show you my Parazon, I do have Lohk now in my Parazon. I have no idea, well, I had no idea what this meant, but I'm guessing I need to put in 3 separate mods to kill? And then maybe the pips at the bottom explains how much power is left in that word, maybe? But yeah, that's... oh, God, I did not expect that to come back up.
Upgraded. The line between who I was and what I am erased and redrawn more times than I have bothered to record.
Okay. Well, there you go. I don't know when I'm going to tackle that, but that is something I do need to do soon, because I realized this had happened when I went to go and fight Vehek.
Why are these fools still breathing my air?
Yeah, I know. I went to go fight Vehek because if I show you my inventory and then type in Hydroid, you can see that I have the chassis blueprint, the chassis, and 3 neuroptics. So I need the systems. I've not fought him that much, if you couldn't tell, but yeah. Trying to unlock Hydroid. He's next up. And if I show you my foundry, just to give you an update on how I'm getting on. If we come over here, you can see Equinox Day is almost done. Equinox Night is still almost 2 days away. Frost will be done in about half an hour. We've got Necros Prime. We've got Titania. There's a lot happening over here, which I'm very excited about. But I do need to begin doing another Warframe. And if I come over here, Chroma is one I'd like to tackle soon. As you can see, to unlock Chroma, I need to build a Frost chassis, an Ember neuroptic, and I need to go and get some Argon crystals. I don't know where I get Sarin systems from. No idea where I get that from. But yeah, this is all a work in progress. Gara as well. To unlock Gara, all I really need to do is go and do some mining. As you can see, I need 20 more Coprite alloy and 30 more pyrotic alloy. And then I've unlocked them. So yeah, it's all happening slowly but surely. And I'm super happy with how it's progressing. So yeah. Lavos Prime, all I need is the neuroptics. Farmed that myself, I hasten to add. I'm really happy with how the game is going at the minute. And I'm you know, now that I've been able to feel the systems, I think it is such a fantastic free-to-play model. Like, for all of my Warframes, everything I've earned in this game, I could have earned and have earned without necessarily spending money. I know I've traded a couple mods for plat, but that plat I've earned back by selling my 100 ducat blueprints. Which, on the topic of this being a fantastic free-to-play game, look what happened when I logged in today. Yeah. I've got 1 day, 12 hours left to make a decision. I feel like I'm gonna have to use it. Will I go for the biggest package? Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna probably crack this open later today to support Digital Extremes, because my god, they deserve it. Anyway, what did I want to do now before we do anything else? Let me go to my notes. I did have a couple of missions, as you can see, under quests and questions. Visit Little Duck in Fortuna and visit the Entrati family. Now, I've got to be honest, there were some not-so-subtle hints about going back to Deimos. People saying, oh, have you been back to Deimos recently? Have you tried using transference while chatting with the Entrati family? So, you know, I've kind of been told by you guys that there's something there. I'd have liked to have thought, though, that I would have connected the dots, because if Cetus had a operator-only zone, Little Duck is operator-only, presumably there would have been something with the Entrati. So, anyway, without further ado, we're going to go see Little Duck down in Cetus, and see what she has to say. Back here, and then over... Nope, wrong one. Over here, and Fortuna. Did I say Little Duck in Cetus? I am all over the place. Oh, speaking of me misspeaking, the Onko and Konzu faux pas from yesterday's episode made me cringe into oblivion. This is no excuse. No excuse whatsoever, but I do struggle with certain words and mixing them up, especially if they sound somewhat similar. As you will have seen with sentient and sentinel, and I think my problem with Onko and Konzu is Onzu, Onko. Like, in my head, they're kind of scrambled a little bit. And I don't mean to say this to guilt trip anyone for like, mocking me for getting it wrong, but I've struggled with that for years. And I will, I just want to confirm, I've not forgotten the quest line involved in Sire's visions. I know that there was a love triangle, and I understand that me referring to Onko as if they were Konzu is remarkably funny. Don't worry, I laugh at myself more than anyone else possibly could. But yeah, watching the VOD back, when I was editing, I thought, you fool. You absolute tit. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, anyway. Let's...
Abandoned conscience finds its way home with a gun in his hand.
Oh?
He was talking about sticking to values, about living with decisions. But I like to think of myself as Fortuna's conscience.
Oh.
Returned home. Ready to make some hard, correct choices.
Okay, can we chat?
Well. Another 10-0.
There we go.
My usual line of work, you understand. I'm not from around here, but I've got a fast tractor and I know how to jump a rail. So a new friend in Zeta set me up with all this. Name's Little Duck, fortune hunter, rail agent, and the girl your mumsy warned you about. And now, somehow, the local quill-endorsed purveyor of amps and assorted paraphernalia. So, what'll it be?
Okay, I love you, Little Duck. Curious, then. So, it would sound like the Quills, in their ability to divine space-time, have determined that Little Duck is an important, I suppose, member of my inner circle. Right? Curious. Exotic goods. Sentient fountain scene, sentient basin scene, sentient concourse, sentient altar? What is this? Anomaly shard, walk wreathed in sentient unlight. Okay. Curious. I won't click on any of those right now. Maybe this is something we'll see later. Okay. Other services?
Oh, a serious customer, are we? All right, then.
Somewhat, yes. Amp assembly.
Parts to work with here, friend.
I've not,
Maybe
no.
Come back when you're good to go.
Trade toroids for standing. Charisma toroid, Nama isoplast, Vega toroid. A device of undetermined function and origin prized by Vox Solaris and the Quills. Earn Vega toroids from enemies located at the spaceport in the Orb Ballas and from Might Rachnoids. They can also be found as pickups in caves located around the Orb Ballas. Okay. Browse wares?
Oi, see anything you fancy?
Whoa! Oh, look at that! That's awesome! Holy shit! Well, I need to farm this. So, Solaris United's core personnel operating under the name of that group's enigmatic and anonymous figurehead. SU is the public face of the struggle. Vox Solaris is something else entirely. Something known only to Udico. ... And the Quills.
Easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go. There she is. Okay. So we can rank up to Shadow. Awesome. Awesome. I did notice, by the way, there is a Warframe in here. Beware the fury of the truly patient. Baruch boasts survivability and crowd control. Pushed beyond his restraint, he unleashes the storm within. Oh, and he has like a shield? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, oh, wait. Their ultimate ability turns them into some sort of like telepathic psionic monk? Oh, I love that they're missing that huge chunk out of their body. And it's like transparent inside. That's cool. That's really cool. Anyway.
No skin off my proverbial matey.
No skin off my proverbial matey. Okay. Well, I'm glad we came here. Lovely to see you, little duck. I'm very curious about all of the sentient bits and pieces in there, whether or not that is something we will encounter in the future, or maybe scenes that are only visible by unlocking the reputation here. Visions, maybe, of what makes the sentients what they are. Okay, right. Well, that was fun. Little duck, great to chat with you. I'm glad to hear that you are a part of the Quill's grand plan for how we, you know, save the world. Right, there's a briefing. Can I attend this?
Sparky, we got something in the works.
Have you?
Not ready to talk about it yet, though. You keep doing what you're doing. We'll
Okay.
have something to discuss soon enough.
Sure.
Mark my words.
Utico?
Something big.
I've got you. Right, let's leave Fortuna and we'll go over to the Necralisk and see what's happening over there. Oh, dear. Zoom out. Oh, no. Deimos. There we go. Necralisk. Let's go. Yeah. Hopefully you're all enjoying today's episode. It's been a long 24 hours. I have barely slept. I was this close to maybe just announcing that there wouldn't be an episode today, but I couldn't let that happen. Couldn't let that happen. The life and struggle of parenthood is all I'm gonna say. Right, let us have a wander. Now, I know from folks telling me that it was somewhere near Lloyd? Like, there was a lot of comments about visiting Otak and Lloyd. Let me go into my operator form. Can I chat with them like this?
Mining is an important part of the plan. Do you remember what the plan is?
I do not. I've got no clue. Sorry, Otak.
Be great. Great things.
Yeah, I could have sworn the comments were saying I need to go near Otak. The only other place which is inaccessible here is that door over there that we came through. when we got inside of Snake. Is that something I can now maybe I can chat with Mother?
Come, stand before me.
I am.
Yes. Goodbye.
Okay. Let's maybe we can go through here now. Maybe we can phase through in our Tenno form. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. That is sick. Oh, that is so cool. My hope was that getting rank 5 with the Entrati would open this door. Because I remember coming in and not really taking my time to look around. We went straight down to where Snake was. Oh my god. I'm guessing you can come in here. Does this open up again? No. I will get a picture of the door, though. I'm guessing you don't have to be rank 5 to come in here. Wait, is that Lloyd?
A visitor? Quite rare these days. We never receive visitors.
What? Necraloid standing? Neutral. Clearance Agnesis, clearance Modus, clearance Odama? What? View offerings. Void rig casing blueprint. Void rig engine blueprint. I do need to make my void rig. Yeah. As you can see, I've got a lot of the damaged parts. I just need to go and buy the blueprints from Otak and Lloyd to build some of these other bits. What does it say here? While the Entrati family's cohort of lethal necromechs succumbed to the corrupting influence of Deimos, Lloyd's shielding kept him sane, as well as preserving what was left of his passenger, the Cephalon Otak. Together, they maintain a proud tradition of loyal service.
I trust this does not.
Browse wares. Trade Orokin matrices for Necroloid standing and Necromech embellishments? Snake Necromech skin! Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. Oh, and Snake Necromech sigil. That's fun. That is fun. I don't know. I'm guessing this is all safe for me to look at. Trade Orokin matrices? Oh, shit. I have some of these. Oh my god, I got loads of them. I've run a lot of these missions, the isolation vaults. If you couldn't tell by the fact that I have 18 of these. So if I redeem one, I can then level up my standing? No! I need the Zymos barrel blueprint? Ah, oh, that's so annoying. Okay, well, I'll have to work on that. Shit. Okay.
Many safe returns.
Many safe returns. Wow, wow, wow. And it seems like we can go down below. Wow. Okay, I want to go get some pictures of these walls. Oh yeah, look, the stairs. I want to get some pictures of these walls. Not that I can immediately transcribe them. Higher standing among the Entrati and... Wait, there's platforms on the other side. What is this meant to be? Okay, what are these? Can I interact with this? Zata, truth.
Zata, truth. It began long before us. We who now live our perfect and dull, endless lives. It began long before these moon palaces and body markets hurling around our golden sun. It began long before our light coil thinkers, our radiation wars.
Radiation wars!
Our oil, smoke. It began with us, the continuity and its twin, Wanderlust.
Wanderlust.
The need for unseen shores deep in our marrow. No judge, jester, queen, or king can escape this old blood. We are nomads, eternal. And when no ocean, mountain, or sky could contain us, our gaze hungered starward. Afar, they mocked us with their brittle light, winking and jeering like dangling iotons, forever out of reach, illuminating the truth. Immortal as we are, we die with the sun. That's where I come in.
I feel like I'm having a moment here. Holy shit. Albrecht Entrati speaks. And when he speaks, the lore pours out. My god. I might listen to that again and live transcribe. I'd rather do that, I think, than constantly take screenshots. So let me get my notes ready. So what oh my god. Albrecht. No, let me go to the Albrecht Entrati tab. Let me put the notes on screen so you can see this. And I'll shrink this down to be as small as possible. That way you guys can still see what's going on. we've discovered a literal fountain of knowledge behind the door on the, or in the Necralisk. Within are floating sigils. When interacted with, we get to hear the dulcet tones of the one and only ALBRECHT ENTRATI. So Zata. Okay, let's do this again.
Zata. Truth. It began long before us. We who now live our perfect and dull, endless lives. It began long before these moon palaces and body markets hurling around our golden sun.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
Long before our light
there's a lot to write.
Our radiation.
That's a ridiculous idea. I cannot keep up. I think the best way to do it will be to do screenshots. Let's go and listen to the next one. Yahoo form.
Jahu.
Or Jahu.
Form. My departure was a day less than any other. When I stepped inside the bell, I saw no crowd through its glass. No skeptical onlookers, no regal send-off. They all had given up on me and my paradoxical formulations. The wasted years had all shown the void to be just that. Nothing. No energy, no entanglement, no form. To spacefaring ambitions, a dead end. On the day, my laboratory was mostly vacant of witnesses, most of all of expectation.
Okay.
Only my sluggish attendants, my sagacious Kavat, Kalimos, and of course my daughter. I had raised her alone, but with inconsistent vigor. In those eyes, her mother's, I did see a terrible reflection. A man that did not exist. A brave and principled man about to make history. In truth, he was a void himself, an outcast, a joke, and nothing. Driven by my humiliation, failure had made me bitter and reckless. I would dive into the depths myself to prove them all wrong. I gave the signal. My daughter grasped the lever. Kalimos then belted out a desperate, rasping growl. But it was too late.
Oh my god! Ah! Feed it to me! This is so good! Okay, next one. Quick! Voom! Order.
Vorm.
Behind time door!
Order.
Ah!
The calipers yawed open the wall between worlds, stretching there a black trapezoidal gap. A door, a mouth.
It
It yawned
yawned.
in the light of the room, splintering it to mesmerizing, unearthly hues. And I, inside the bell, dropping obliquely toward it from my gallows. Mass and time rippled as a sudden vortex jawed before me. My head was vapor, my feet lodestone. The bell around me flexed like a rat paralyzed in a winding, gulping snake. I faltered in the awe of it, stumbling against the ceraglass, and with that shifted the bell's path through the wall. It grazed the caliper membrane, the edge of the door. No worldly edge was as thin, as sharp as could split even light. As the bell faintly grazed it, the ceraglass was all at once rendered like strips of flesh by Dax's blade. My enclosure was beheaded in an instant, but still, I fell, sideways,
into the void. Oh, we are eating good today. Oh my god. God, I love it. All right, next one. Go. Quick. Is this because I got Entrati standing to 5? I feel very proud of myself. Annoyingly, I am going to have to do the new standing to get those final 3 pips over there. Never mind.
Thas. Chaos. Death was on me, I was
So there's the bell.
I was face down, eyes clenched, my heart pulsing the last of its seconds, and my lungs burning the last of its air. A sudden nostalgia gripped me. I grasped desperately for memory of a storm just past, the fumbling pitch of a child's song. Yet all these thoughts seemed to steal away from my mind like smoke through a vent. I would die empty. I then became aware of another sensation.
The man in the wall?
A web of pain, needles itching into my arm. At once I realized I was alive. Laying in the bell's shattered ceraglass, I groped the ground, warm stone. The floor of my laboratory. So, I had never left. And so, I had failed. Again. I heard a crunch alongside me. Someone stepping through the shattered glass. With great shame, I gasped and rose my head to face my daughter above me. But as I opened my eyes, it wasn't her. It was me.
Are we now witnessing a convergence of the quills and the multiversal shenanigans? The block universe shit? And Albrecht entering the void? Oh my god, okay. There's one more. There's only one more. This hurts me. Why only one more? What? Riss light. Okay. I need to... tonight, I am grinding this standing. Okay. Hey!
Riss. Light. The senselessness of it. The paradoxic, the vague, untimed form. I was alone, but not. For I stood there confronted by myself. A twin, but no brother. A reflection, but with dimension. Behind him, no horizon, but a vast broiling sea of caustic light pierced at random by black pin stars. And closer, around me, a gale of flowing vapor, profane in color, billowing relentlessly into the nascent lack, seeking all directions. I was standing on a precipice of familiar stone, jagged and unanchored as though cleaved directly from the very floor of my laboratory. I wondered at the vapor's path, smoking outward more, leaving behind now the walls, the filigree gold, the rare cuts of marble from my home. I knew at once the vapor's source.
Yeah?
I turned away, back toward the wall, the trapezoid I had yawed into it. Vapor erupted inward at the gap, but not just from there. For as I rolled my eyes back, I saw the same. A great steam of scintillation smoking out from my skull. Done in awe, I faced toward my chimerical twin. He spoke.
No! Oh, that's so mean! That is so mean! Digital extremes! Come on! You guys are mean. You know, I was fully expecting rap, tap, tap. Fully expecting that. Oh my god, where do we even begin? Where do I even begin? Holy shit. God, that was incredible. I wanted to quickly come back over here. What do I need? Just so I can remind myself. We need Orokin orientation matrices, which I'm going to get from tier 1 vaults. Father tokens, easy enough. And the Zymos barrel blueprint, I think I buy that from Father. Hold on. Let me quickly just check this.
Be pragmatic in all
One moment.
aspects of life.
Just so I can see how close we are.
Always good to see you, Ayatan.
Hey, thank you for using my name. I'm going to be buying up some tokens now. We need 20 total. As you can tell, I've spent a lot of time on Deimos. This brings me up to 12. So hopefully later I can get more. What does this require of me? Voam residue and fast residue. And that ends in an hour. This one, I need one more Voam residue.
Pleasure transacting with you.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Let me just quickly see if I can go and get some Voam residue. I don't know. Is it Vass or Voam? It's Voam in an hour. I've already forgotten which residue I need. Let me just quickly see if we can go and grab some. Guys, I am... If you couldn't tell, I am ridiculously excited about what is happening right now. Okay, let's just grab all this. Again, I don't know which residue it is, but we may as well grab some. There we go. There's normally more. I've missed one. Sorry. Yoink. There's normally more over here. There it is. I feel so vindicated in ranking up the Entrati. I will admit, a tiny, tiny amount of me was disappointed that when we got to rank 5, there was no... I don't know, not necessarily humongous lore drop. I was very happy to be named and to have that fourth wall breaking moment where they look through the camera and declare that I am Ayatan. Beautiful stuff. But a tiny part of me thought, yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd tell me a bit more about, you know, your void research. So to now be in a position where I feel somewhat vindicated for having done what I've done, I feel amazing. I feel absolutely amazing. But now I need to rank up. Was it the Necraloid? Is that what they described them as? The Necraloid? There you go. Okay, let's head back because I do want to actually do a little bit more over there before we leave. I've been joined by someone. Little do they know, I am now about to leave. Sorry for betraying you and leaving you behind. Okay. Let's come over here. Get back inside. And I will, of course, have to leave the squad so I don't betray this person. Leave squad. There we go. Okay. Let me just go see. I wish I had remembered what he'd said, but I think I've got this correct.
I was worried about you.
Yes.
I'd be a lot less worried if I knew you were carrying a sensible weapon.
I'm now at 16 father tokens, which means when I log in later, I need 4 more.
Works for me.
Can I buy that gun piece? It was the Zymos barrel blueprint, I'm pretty sure. Right, so now I have everything except... hold on, I've got to make sure I do this now, because if I don't, I will forget. Okay, let's run in. Okay, we can dash. That'll do. I just rapidly need to get back to them. Okay. Do I have nearly everything I need? You tell me, please.
Hello. Are you requiring something?
Yeah, so all I need to do is run some tier 1 isolation vault bounties. I'll do that tonight. I'll do that tonight. Oh my god. I need to know what they said. What did the copy of you say? This crude mimicry. Guys, I think we'll stand here and we'll go over what we've just learned. Let me get the notes up for you. I'm glad I didn't go down the route of doing my live transcription because that probably would have ended very poorly. Let's position ourselves so you can see the background. There we go. Right, let me go get my photos. Oh my god, I got so many. Zata, truth, it began long before us. We who now live are perfect, dull, endless lives. God, like, there's so much world building done in these audio logs. So much. So much. It began long before us. Long before these moon palaces, and I'll put in parentheses, Lua, and body markets, which I'll put in parentheses, Yuvan? I think they're Yuvan theaters, but I get the gist. Hurling around our golden sun. It began long before our light coil thinkers, our radiation wars, which we know a little bit about from that singular line of dialogue from the Lotus back in episode 2, when she mentioned that the infestation predates the radiation wars. I can quickly show you that, actually. No, I can't. Radiation... Here we go. Predates the Orokin era, with records of outbreaks dating back before the radiation wars. Which, now that we know that the radiation wars is seemingly something which happened on Earth, a radiation wars is... I thought the radiation wars may have been some sort of, like, intergalactic battle, where they were using radiation power to do stuff. It reads to me that this is just a, you know, comparatively bog standard nuclear war, right? I say comparatively because obviously to us a nuclear war is devastating, but to them it's like, just radiation wars, you know what it is. So, nuclear wars on Earth? On Earth? Question mark? Our oil smoke. It began with us. The continuity and its twin, Wanderlust. And I'll put in parentheses, immortality attained. ... Okay. We are nomads. Eternal. And when no ocean or sky could contain us, our gaze hungered starward. And to this point, I'll put another parentheses. So, the Orokin, the continuity, and I'll link all of these in here. The Orokin, the continuity. God, this restructures my own headcanon on how this all came to be tremendously. So the Orokin, the continuity, presumably then, Kuva, and I know Teshin said that the Kuva was the Orokin's blood. My read on that was it was their blood because they're taking it from us, the Tenno. The Kuva, the Yuvan, all existed during our time on Earth. That is huge. I didn't, like, in my head I thought that the Orokin Empire would have only begun to sort of come to fruition during our time as explorers of space. And it was maybe through our exploration of the stars that they came into their power, discovered Kuva, discovered the ability to partake in continuity. But to hear that it was something that we had on Earth, that is maddening to me. I didn't realize it was so early on. Okay, the next one is Jahu. Jahu, parentheses, form. My departure was a day less than any other. Hopefully you guys don't mind me doing this. I know it's not necessarily the most riveting thing, but to me this is I don't know, this is like a golden goose laying a golden egg. And I'm now chowing down on a golden omelette. When I stepped inside the bell, and I'll quickly go to that link, a device used by Albrecht ENTRATI to enter the void? I believe that was the intention, and it was when passing through this razor-thin edge that the bell came crumbling down, and then he hurtled himself into the void, unprotected by the bell. I saw no crowd through its seriglass. And of course, we needed seriglass to fulfill the 5th rank of the ENTRATI standing. You can buy a seriglass shard from Grandmother. And I didn't fully grasp what seriglass meant. No skeptical onlookers. No regal send-off. They had all given up on me and my paradoxical formulations. This makes me want to do Duviri really badly, because it's labeled the Duviri paradox. And now that we're dabbling in space-time, I need to see what's going on with that. My paradoxical formulations. The wasted years had all shown the void to be just that. Paradoxical? Is the void the key to our ability to look through space-time? Is this the way, or is this how the quills are able to determine the future, the past, and everything in between? Nothing. No energy, no entanglement. Nothing. No energy, no entanglement. I will probably sort these notes out to look a bit nicer in between recordings. No form. To space-faring ambitions, a dead end. On the day, my laboratory was mostly vacant of witnesses. Most of all, of expectation. So to me it seems like, did he do this in secret in order to prevent anyone from stopping him? That's how it reads to me. Only my sluggish attendants. Only my sluggish attendants. My sagacious Kavat Calamos. Love that name, Calamos. And of course, my daughter. I had raised her alone, but with inconsistent vigor. I wonder then in this moment, where was Grandmother? Where does she fit into this? In those eyes, comma, her mother's, I did see a terrible reflection. Presumably, in this moment, I wondered if the reflection was going to be ambiguous. But I do actually think it's just him looking at himself in her own eyes. Of a man that did not exist. A brave and principled man about to make history. In truth, he was a void himself. Scroll down. An outcast, a joke, a nothing. Driven by my humiliation. So it would seem, I don't know to what degree, the ENTRATI family, specifically Albrecht, to what degree they had a relationship with the upper echelons of Orokin society. Specifically, the Seven. The Seven. But it would seem that Albrecht's own studies and research were looked down upon by those who thought they knew better. Because again, we are beneficiaries of their void research, and maybe the other members of I don't know if there is like a science board of directors or something among the Orokin, but clearly Albrecht's own studies and research was sort of like the butt of the joke. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at the void? Nothing's there. All of your research is coming out in these paradoxical, answers. Like, give up. What are you doing? Little did they know, he knew something was up. Failure had made me bitter and reckless. I would dive into the depths myself to prove them all wrong. Yeah. I gave the signal. My daughter grasped the lever. But it was too late. Oh, God, this is just incredible. Right, next up, we've got Vome Order. Vome Order. The calipers yawed open the wall between worlds, stretching there a black trapezoidal gap. And I've just got to drag this in. Look at that. That image alone. Mwah, chef's kiss. What a view. What a visual. A door. A mouth. It yawned in the light of the room, splintering it to mesmerizing, unearthly hues. And I, inside the bell, dropping obliquely toward it from my gallows. Mass and time. Oh my God. Mass and time rippled as a sudden vortex yawed before me. My head was vapor, my feet lodestone. My head was vapor, my feet lodestone. Because obviously in this image, it looks like he's not in the bell, but I think this is meant to be... It's a better visual to see him suspended before the door in that way, right? Unless he wasn't in the bell at this point, but I think he is supposedly in the bell, right? Like, and that's why the lever's just been pulled, because he's ready to go in. Yeah, I've just gotten to the next image, and it says, the bell around me. Fixed like a rat, paralyzed... Oh. Paralyzed in a winding, gulping snake. What a visual. I faltered in the awe of it, stumbling against the seriglass, and with that, shifted the bell's path through the wall. It grazed the caliper's membrane, the edge of the door. I'd love to go back and look at a picture of the door now. Grazed the caliper's membrane, the edge of the door. No worldly edge was as thin, as sharp as could split even light. As the... Oh, didn't mean to go into caps lock. As the bell grazed it, the seriglass was all at once rendered like strips of flesh by a Dax blade. That's cool. Okay, my enclosure beheaded in an instant, but still I fell sideways into the void. Oh, God, I love it. Okay, let me quickly come up here, and I'm going to put in some pictures of Jahu, just so we've got some level of continuity. Pun not intended. There's Jahu. And Zata will put up here like so. That way we can track the different images. There we go. And as I said, I'll format this later to have all of the different paragraphs and stuff and make it a bit easier to read. Okay, we're on the penultimate one now. We've not got much left to go. I know this has been quite intense. Fast chaos. Death was on me. I was certain. My heart pulsing the last of its seconds. My lungs burning the last of its air. A sudden nostalgia gripped me. I grasped desperately for memory of a storm just past. The fumbling pitch of a child's song. Yet all these thoughts seemed to steal away from my mind like smoke through a vent. I wonder whose song that was. Was it his daughter's? Of a storm. Kind of feels like, you know how when you die you're supposed to see, allegedly, not that I can attest to this, I've not died yet, you can see like this slideshow of memories flash before your eyes. It feels like that's what's happening here. Caused by the void. I would die empty. I then became aware of another sensation. Physical. A web of pain. Needles itching into my arm. At once I realized I was alive. Way. Great to have you back, Albrecht. You were out for a few moments there. The floor of my laboratory. So, I had never left. And so, I had failed. The floor of my... Oh, I've taken the same picture twice. There you go. Again, I heard a crunch alongside me. Who could it be? We know. Someone stepping through the shattered glass. With great shame, I gasped and rose my head to face my daughter above me. But it was me. Incredible. So we'll paste that picture in as well so we can see there's the bell after it had been beheaded. I love that term. And then finally, this is probably my favorite picture of all. Guys, just look at that. Oh, God, I love this. Okay. I didn't get the name of which thing this was. I'll do that in a minute. Right. A twin, but no brother. A reflection, but with dimension. Behind him, no horizon, but a vast broiling sea of caustic light, pierced at random by black pin stars. And closer around me, a gale of flowing vapor. Profane in color, billowing relentlessly into the nascent... Is it... I can't read that word, hold on. I think it's lack. Nascent lack, seeking all directions. Nascent lack, seeking all directions. It feels like in this moment we are at the convergence point of... I don't know, like the universe in some way? Like it feels so otherworldly, doesn't it? Like the birth of the universe. The convergence of, again, space-time. For him to be staring at himself in such a way. I was standing on a precipice of familiar stone. Jagged and unanchored. As though cleaved directly from the very floor of my laboratory. This is where it gets good. I wondered at the vapor's path, smoking outward more, leaving behind now the walls, the filigree gold, the rare cuts of marble from my home. And I feel like in this moment, the fact that he is able to identify these incredibly unique facets of what makes his home, it's proof that where he is his home. Right? This isn't somewhere similar, it is his lab. God, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but I feel like I'm in knots at the minute. I knew at once the vapor's source. I turned away, back toward the wall. The trapezoid, I'll put in parentheses, untimed door. Untimed door. I had yawed into it. For as I rolled my eyes back, I saw the same. We're nearly there, guys. A great steam of scintillation smoking out from my skull. Dumb in awe, I faced toward my chimerical twin. He spoke. And that's where it ends. Ah! God, I just did what just happened today. Like everything we've done today has been just so far removed from my wildest dreams of what we might get up to in today's episode. I would love to sit here and do even more talking about it. Trust me, we will talk about it more. I'm gonna try and get the next note. Here's the thing, right? Here's the big things I'll mention. I'll get back to the ship for a moment. We'll touch on some big marquee sort of like tentpole stuff, and then we'll wrap up today. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at, and I'll make notes at the bottom of this thing here. So number one, he must have returned to our space-time, given the fact that these messages are transcribed on the inner walls of the Necralisk. You can see, above where we were interacting with it, his recounting of what happened. Right? So presumably he came back. He wasn't trapped there forever. My guess at the minute is this version, chimerical twin of his, was another version of himself, which aligns with what we know of space-time in the Warframe universe according to Onko. not Konzu. Quill Onko. A form of block universe. A form of block universe, right? Does this version of Albrecht give him the formulations he needs to return to his time and discover the truth of the void? That's my guess at the minute, is that this version of him is a version of Albrecht in the again, future is a bit of a strange term to use given what we now know of space-time in the game. It's a version of him that has existed before or is yet to be. Who knows? But maybe they, in their position here within the void, within his lab, in the void, know more about the subject than he knows, and thus gives him the knowledge he needs to be able to go back and prove to the Seven, prove to the Orokin that he is to be respected, because he now has the answers. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Guys, this has been an episode beyond my wildest dreams. Again, when I sat down to record, I did not feel good at all. I thought, I'm not going to be at my A game. I'm just going to chill today. We're not going to do any main quests. Little did I know, I think this has been the most lore-heavy, even beyond the second dream and the War Within, I would say, lore-heavy episode yet. I cannot believe it. Let me go over here, grab some blueprints. I believe we've got some frames which are now done. We've got Frost. We've got... Oh, Necros Prime and Titania will be done in just a second. Cool. And in the next episode, we can check out the Helmet Invigoration thing. But yeah, I really, really appreciate you all watching. Once again, thank you very, very much. I'm really glad you are all enjoying this series as much as you are. I am having an absolute blast. And I really hope that you've enjoyed this episode. And I will see you in the next episode for... I don't know. It'll be a mystery. So pay attention to the thumbnail and of the next episode, and you'll see, hopefully, what the plan is. But yeah, for now, I'm going to go. My brain is still, and continues to be, scrambled egg. This game is amazing. It's free to play. Can you believe it? I cannot. I'll see you next time. Fare thee well.